Incoming transmission.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas!
Welcome, Watcher of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion on the 14th of December, and we're looking at Final Fight on the Amiga. Let's see what the differences are for the between the two games, the arcade and the Amiga version. And, oh, that's good, my character screen has wazzed already, so whichever character I am, I've picked Guy. Randomly. And what the hell are these guys doing so early on in the level? I'm pretty sure they shouldn't be here for a while. And, oh right, so it's a bit of a case of getting stuck between the bad guys and getting your arse pummeled. Right, so, yeah. Okay, so, let's try and get somewhere with this. Okay, so, graphically, it's very good. It's pretty damn close to the arcade, to be quite honest. The weird thing is that the bad guys seem to be very sporadic, and they don't seem to be in the right places either. Those big fat guys shouldn't be there at all. These guys seem to be pretty much where they should be. Maybe they were just having a vacation and being in a different part of the game to see what it was like, or something like that. So the fire button, when you hold that down, you can do various attacks by holding down the fire button, like the jump attack and things like that. There seems to be quite a lot of game missing as well. Actually, there should have been a few attacks there with a knife throwing guy. Yeah, I quite like the graphics. Have I mentioned they're good? I think I might have done. There's a reason, because they are very good. All of the character design is spot on, but they've kind of, I don't know, they seem to have got this a little bit wrong. The fact that you get trapped between them and they just kick the crap out of you. That's just not fun, guys, at all. Not quite sure why you thought that would be fun. Now, this game is two-player, simultaneous, so if you've got a mate, you can plug in another joystick and away you go, which makes this game somewhat easier. These transitions are weird as well. They seem to have, like, chopped the levels up a little bit, maybe a bit too much. It's not quite as fast as the arcade either, which is a bit of a shame. But it's, you know, it's Final Fight. It looks like Final Fight, it plays like Final Fight to a degree, and, you know, what is Andor Jr. doing there? Oh, he's not Andor Jr. either, it's Andor. Not even sure what he's doing here. He shouldn't be here in this stage at all. Nice to see the boss intact, that's quite cool. A little bit easy to defeat just by standing there and punching him in the face. Doesn't even do his jump away and whistle for reinforcements. Bit of a shame, but hey. But it's nice to see a majority of the bad guys have remained intact, so I suppose there is attention to detail there. He does tend to hold weapons a bit strangely. I don't know if you noticed that when I had the drain pipe, but yeah. Oh, and here he comes, big Bill Bull. Whoever thought of these names? So look, kick in Jay. Here come the David Hasselhoffs, or Axel, as he's otherwise known. But look, he's kicking nothing, and now they're kicking the crap out of me. So you can see it's just really, it's very off. Especially when you get stuck in between a group of mobs, it's just impossible. You just get pinball machined to death. But they are relatively easy to kill, I suppose, and just standing there punching them seems to be sufficient. You don't even need to do the flashy moves. The levels are definitely shorter than they should be. This one should have carried on for a fair bit. They really like putting enemies where they shouldn't be. I don't know what I've put Bill Bull in there for. He's not supposed to be in this level. So it's a bit odd. It's got the character design down to a T, and then they just randomly placed them in levels they should never be, which is a bit strange. Okay, so I'm going to see if you can see what I mean with the drain pipe thing. He's not even holding it properly now, but it's a bit weird. If I can actually get a shot. Oh, there you go. Look, he's like swinging it to the side. It's a bit very odd animation there. But the on the arcade, if you did that spin attack, you'd have to hold both buttons down together. This seems to be hold the fire button down and push down on the stick, and it does seem to do the special attack. Now, why they couldn't have done centralised animation, I don't know. What I mean by that is that Guy is not centralised on the screen when we start to move the screen along. It's kind of like he's on the edge, and I think that's where I'll be after playing this game. But it's a shame, because I remember completing this with a mate of mine, and we had such a laugh doing it. But maybe cheats were involved and we had infinite health or something. But it's a shame, because the animations are great. The swinging on the handles there and the top of the carriage are absolutely brilliant. Just little attention to detail. It makes a big difference. But the main game, like, no bad guys again, and then all of a sudden we're just thrown into bad guys, which is they've kind of tried to go for authenticity with the graphics, and the sound's not really anything to talk about either. There's no music as you play. The sound effects are very substandard, and we've got those two guys running around the screen again. Yeah, the sound effects aren't anything to write home about. There's not much really that's made the transition from the arcade game either, which is a bit of a shame. But you just, that pinball machine sort of mechanic there could really have been done without. It doesn't make the game fun at all, which is a shame, because this is one of my all-time favourite beat-em-ups. But if you had this on the Amiga, I think you'd be fairly happy with it, I guess. I think it would probably be over way too quickly, because look how much health I'm taking off just by punching him in the jaw. Punching animations are slow and sluggish. I'm going to try and get another guy on for you to have a look at, and that's no pun intended, because I'm playing as Guy now. I would like to see at least one other character before I call it a day. So now I've got to do what? I'll walk over here maybe. Oh, now it decides. And the punching the car stage is intact. I just jumped then, and the car decided it was going to smash itself to pieces. That's very obedient of it. Time limit going down quite quickly. Doesn't seem to be anywhere that obvious. Oh, and then all of a sudden the time just disappeared. That's weird. I don't know what happened there. Had my finger down on the fire button and the timer just disappeared. So bug, more than likely, and it wouldn't really surprise me. Health seems to go down really, really quickly as well. But it's not an authentic Final Fight experience at all, by any stretch of the imagination. But at least they have kept it loyal to the arcade within the graphic settings, at least. It's nice to see that the main characters and the bad guys... See, you're supposed to kick your way through that door. At least the bad guys and your main characters have stayed intact. There have been no changes to them, which is absolutely brilliant. The scenery also seems to be intact as well. Like, the backgrounds all seem to be there. These guys having a great time running around. But I don't know, in some respects it's incredibly easy, and in other respects it's incredibly frustrating to play. Especially when you get stuck between a couple of mobs. It's just not fun. I mean, we must be coming up to at least halfway point now, maybe further on than that. And it just doesn't seem like we've done much. You know, we're looking... Well, I've been playing this now for coming up to the 8-minute mark. You know, we're coming up to the second boss already. We should be... we shouldn't be there at the 8-minute mark, is what I'm trying to say. We should be taking more of a time over this, but as you can see, there's quite a lot of sections of the game where we're not actually facing anybody, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get two guys attacking you out of nowhere. Let's see if we can get... let's select Cody. I'm not sure if the graphics glitch at the start with the character select was due to the fact this is actually installed on a hard drive. And using an A1200, but this actually ran on a 500, so that might be what happened there. I'm not sure. You can see here with Cody, the graphics are nice. He's recognisable as Cody. The throwing animation seems to be seems to have vanished as well. They've got this same weird stabbing animation that they did with Guy as well. Now here's the boss, and again, Andor seems to like accompanying them for some reason. But there you go. They do seem to get stuck in these animation loops as well, which is a bit strange. So they'll like beat you or kick when you're not even anywhere near them. So a few bugs in this game, unfortunately. The SNES version was fairly faithful to the arcade, but yeah, this one's probably one that you might want to play through once, and then you'll probably not play it ever again. I mean, I'm coming up to 9 minutes now, and I've basically had enough of it. So, unfortunately, one of my favourite beat-em-ups didn't get the justice that it deserved on the Amiga, which is a shame, because the Amiga had more than enough potential to do this game complete and utter arcade justice. Anyway, folks, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed the review. Thanks for tuning in. Hello to all of you subscribers out there, new and old alike. Thanks very much. Anyway, you keep it retro. I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.